Hello, welcome back. This is part 3 of my guide for the first 2 layers. In part 1, we very exhaustively covered how to do all of the easy cases. In part 2, we were not quite as exhaustive because I think it's important for you to kind of mess around with it yourself. But basically, we learned how to do every single case when the corner is in the top layer and the corner doesn't have the white on top. So if the corner's oriented like this, or if it's oriented with the white here, you know how to do it, except for 2 cases, which is when the edge is right beside the white, either flipped or not. So that's the first case that we're going to discuss today. Okay? Because remember, if it was here, 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 or here, whether it was flipped one way or the other, we learned how to do that last time. Now for this time, let's discuss how to do the other 2. There you go. Okay, so this is the first case that we're going to discuss. Again, all these can be done from multiple angles, but until you get the hang of it, focus on just one for now. Okay, so this is the corner, again, oriented with the white here. Okay, but we have this edge right beside it where the 2 reds on top match. For this one, you don't hold it here or here like usual. Instead, you hold the corner over any open slot. It doesn't matter which open slot, but obviously, if you're working on your last pair, you only have 1 open slot left. Then you put that slot up, okay, not this way, but rather in the direction that puts the edge down, this edge down. Do a single turn of the top this way, and put it back down. That is the 3 setup moves, and then you have an easy case. Right, with these 2 opposite colors. So you do a half turn to put it above the corner above the slot you want it to go in, and you do the 3 moves to do that easy case. Let's look at it from its mirror image. Its mirror image looks like this. Again, this is the case, but you don't hold it like this. You hold the corner above any open slot, and you turn it toward the direction of the edge. The way to recognize this quickly is that the green are matched up with the white on the front, like this. Okay. Once you get the hang of it, you can recognize them pretty quickly. Then you simply turn it so the edge is hid in the first 2 layers. You're bringing up this blank slot. You turn the top this way, and you put it back down, and that sets up the easy case, the second of the 2 easy cases. All right, here's the next case. All right, the next case, again, with the corner not oriented to one of the sides, the white oriented to one of the sides, not on top, because we haven't gotten to those yet. But they don't match on top. Instead, you have red, red like this, and green, green like this. For this one, you want to use an empty slot, so you rotate the top like this, okay? So that way the white is facing toward you and the slot is in the back. Okay. Then if you can use this slot in order to help you move this edge here to get that second easy case. So you turn it toward you, bringing up the slot, turn the top to bring this here, and then put it back up. And that gives you the easy case. So again, here are your pieces. So follow these 2 along, and so this goes down, it hides in the first 2 layers, and I bring up this empty slot, I bring it over, and I bring it back up. And that's it. So let's try it from the other angle. From the other angle, and keep in mind, when you're doing a solve, you're going to be holding it like this or something. You know, your slot could be of any rotation, and this top could be rotated any amount. But let's say it's like this. You'll notice, you'll recognize it, opposite colors here. So you'll want the white to be opposite your pair. So I'm going to hold it like this. This is the mirror image. Okay. And again, I can use this back slot in order to help me rotate this to here. So put it down, put the corner down, bringing up this empty slot that hasn't yet been filled. Rotate the top and put it back. And now I have an easy case, which I can easily put in without having to rotate the cube. Okay. So now we should be able to, for any corner, whether the edge is here, 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 or here, you should be able to do it. Now, one last thing I want to talk about, which is if you're if you're not doing your very last pair, oftentimes your edge you'll find in a spot where it doesn't belong. Like this edge, blue-orange, belongs here, but here's my blue-orange corner. I can still do the same ideas that I was doing before, okay, just with this empty slot. So I would turn the top, okay, with this empty slot. I would notice, okay, I got the white here. This blue would need to go up to here. So I do those 3 moves, and I set it up, but now I'm not putting it in this slot. So the setup can use any slots if your edge happens to be in a different slot. And then you would put this in the correct slot. Okay. As one more example, say this one, okay? Oh, sorry, bad example. There we go, this one, okay? Here I see red, green, and I see red, green, so that's the pair I immediately see. Since it's in the second, or since it's in the wrong slot, you can still use that slot. So I do up twice, and I see these are the same color, and I use the same idea. I need this red to go here, so I'm going to rotate it up and then rotate it over. And that puts it in the right slot, or that pairs them up, and now this pair needs to go not here, but here. So I can do that by rotating and putting it in. As a little bit of practice here, let's do this one. Notice they're opposites. So again, you hold the white here. This red needs to go here, so I turn down the corner, do a half turn, put it back up. So that makes these, makes it the second easy case, and then you can put it in like normal. All right, the next easy cases that I want to do have to do with when the corner is oriented upwards, so you have a white on top, okay? So here, if you have an edge that's not directly beside the corner, so it's not here and it's not here. So if it's one of these two locations, you just rotate until this edge matches up with the center. So here's red, I'm going to match it up with the center. That's your setup top move. Once you do that, you bring up the slot that you want to fill, okay? Once you do that, notice that brings this edge down. Rotating the top so that this piece goes here will match those up. And then you can put these pieces back down, and now you've got one of the easy cases. So you can put it in. Similarly, sometimes you might have to turn twice. So again, if you have this situation, for example, you notice, oh, it's oriented up, and the edge is not immediately touching it, so it's back here. It's one of these two. I just rotate it until it matches up with the center. Then I put that slot up. In this case, I'll have to do up twice in order to match it up with its edge, and then put these pieces back down, and that sets it up. So that's my 3 moves. Okay. This is a similar case. So even if the edge happens to be in the top layer and touching the corner, so right next to it, as long as these two colors don't match, the same principle applies, sort of. You rotate the top until this edge matches, just like before, but now you'll bring up the slot and you'll do a half turn to relocate the corner, so then when the edge comes back down, it becomes the second easy case, and you can do that. So from this angle, it would look like this. These are matched up, they're right next to each other, the white's on top, these are opposite colors, so you go 1, half turn, put this slot back down, and now you're in your second easy case, and you can put it in. We've done the corners opposite. We did the corners adjacent as long as the colors don't match. When the colors do match, we'll get to that in a second. Now, if the edge happens to be anywhere in the second layer and you match it up, what you do is you match it up. If they're opposites like this, then you just do what's called the sexy move 3 times. So that is turning the right up this way. So that's right clockwise, up clockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise. That's the sexy moves. And you just do that 3 times. 1, 2 times, 3 times. Although the very last up turn doesn't make any difference because you already got the pair solved. So let's show you again when you have it like this. So the moves are right clockwise, up clockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, and repeat. Sexy move again, and then the sexy move one more time, and the last U is no longer necessary. And then the very last one you need to know is if you happen to have the edge match up and they perfectly match, all you have to do is take and rotate this way or this way, it doesn't matter, and then rotate the top so that way you can put this edge clean and this isn't broken up, and then you have case 1 and you can put it in pretty easily. Of course, you can do that from multiple angles. So for example, if I'm holding it here in the back and I have these paired up, I can go like this, okay, rotate, and then do left double turn, left back down. So let's recap everything that we did in this video. So we've done pretty much everything where the edge is facing up. If the corner is here or here, or if the edge is here or here, you rotate the top until it matches with the center. You put that edge down while bringing up the empty pair you want to fill, and you turn the top until it matches. And then you put it in using the easy case. Like this. Then you line up the edges, the same thing. You turn that edge down while bringing the slot that you want to fill up, do a half turn and put it back down to set it up. And if the edge is anywhere in the second layer, it doesn't have to be in the right spot. So for example, you could have it like something like this, okay, where you have them set up, but it's obviously not in the right slot. You still do the same idea. You can still take it out and then put it in the correct slot, just like that. Okay. Here to review, again, we have a white corner up. I rotate the edge until it matches the center. Put that down while bringing the empty slot that I want to fill up. Rotate the top to pair them up, and then they're paired. Nice and easy. A little bit. So with this corner up, we know both of these, the ones that aren't touching. We know the one that's touching as long as they're the different color, and we know this edge, whether it flipped one way or another, either the triple, the sexy move 3 times, or just they're paired up and you just take it out and put it in incorrectly. The only one that we haven't discussed is this one. And this one is a little complicated. It's when the colors match and you have a white up. Again, you have the formula. You can just do a formula, which is usually what I do. So put it back here and do right squared, up squared, put this white down, rotate these whites over, put this white up, and then put these 3 over to the side and put them down. You could do a formula like that. Or another thing you can do is simply put it off to the side and then take the corner and do something like this. It's kind of a weird case. So really by doing that, what you're doing is you're taking the corner and putting it in. When you turn the top, you're actually doing a case we haven't discussed yet, which is when the corner's in place and the edge is not. But hopefully you can see it's pretty easy setup, 3 moves, and then you put it in correctly. All right, well, I think that's plenty for now. Chances are all of that's not going to be absorbed in one sitting. I suggest you try to watch it multiple times. Try it with a cube in your hands, maybe slow it down to 50% speed if that's helpful, to try to finish up or to practice all of these cases, because I didn't do them from all the angles. I don't even know that I did every single one of them, but I discussed all of the things. So thanks for watching. Apologize for it being so long, and I'll see you next time.